Chosen one, you have entered a rare and extraordinary season. A moment in time when everything you've endured, everything you've prayed for, everything you've believed in, has aligned perfectly. This is not an ordinary victory. This is the ultimate win. This is the kind of triumph that rewrites destiny. A win that shakes the spiritual and physical realms, declaring that unstoppable wealth is now yours to hold, to live in, and to expand through. What's coming your way is not just a reward. It's an inheritance of divine magnitude. You didn't just wish for change. You activated it. You walked the fire, and now you wear the flame. And in this chapter of your life, no force can dim the brilliance that was always destined to shine through you. This video is your sign. Watch it until the end, because every second is coded with truth your spirit has long been waiting for. If you're ready to claim this message fully, type your warmest, most heartfelt wish in the comments right now. Then add 777 to activate it into the universe. Let your intention be a spark. The number 777 represents completion and the beginning of your unstoppable flow. You're not asking for a miracle anymore. You are becoming the miracle. And the moment you declare it, the universe echoes your voice across dimensions. One time is enough, because you've already said it in silence 1,000 times. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. You have secured the ultimate win, and not by accident. You've walked a road that most people wouldn't survive. There were moments when you felt forgotten, invisible, like your efforts vanished into the void. But what the world couldn't see, the universe was recording. Every tear, every setback, every sacrifice. It was tallied, noted, magnified. While others chased quick fixes and temporary pleasures, you chose alignment, growth, and integrity. That is why this win is different. It's not fleeting. It's not shallow. It is rooted in something eternal. And because of that, your wealth is not just unstoppable. It's unshakable. This isn't only about money, although money will now follow you effortlessly. This is about stepping into the full expression of abundance in all areas of your life. Financial breakthroughs, opportunities with your name on them, partnerships that elevate your soul and expand your reach. A life that feels like overflow, because that's exactly what it is. This is about doors opening without you knocking. It's about favor that flows without friction. It's about blessings that know exactly where to find you, because they've always belonged to you. You're not chasing anymore. You're receiving. Understand this. The wealth you've secured is not bound by rules that apply to everyone else. You are operating on a different frequency now. What held others back cannot hold you. What blocked you before has now become the very foundation of your rise. You've outgrown limitation. You've graduated from survival. You've transcended fear. That's why everything is shifting so rapidly. You're not stuck. You're soaring. You're not waiting. You're walking into rooms already prepared for your presence. The contracts, the connections, the cash flow, they're lining up. Not in the distant future, but now. The game changed the moment you remembered who you were. The wealth began flowing when you stopped begging for it and started embodying it. That shift in mindset was the key that unlocked the gates. Your energy is magnetic now. Your belief is unstoppable. You no longer need to prove yourself. Your energy speaks before you do. That's why you're attracting opportunities you once thought were out of reach. That's why wealth is not trickling in. It's rushing in, flooding your life with momentum and magnitude. You're not manifesting from desperation. You're manifesting from knowing. There is no ceiling anymore. The moment you said enough to the lack, to the fear, to the scarcity, the universe said finally. It's like heaven had been holding a vault of blessings with your name on it, waiting for you to rise up and say, I'm ready. And now that you have, there's no stopping the flow. The dam has broken. The divine current is carrying you faster, higher, deeper. And what's coming is not small. It's legacy level. This wealth is not only for your benefit. It's for those connected to you. Your win is creating waves. Your breakthrough is birthing blessings in others. Because when the chosen one rises, the ripple is felt everywhere. With God's blessings, you are invited to bless this message by giving a divine gift of $20 or more through the Super Thanks button on YouTube. Together, let's spread faith, hope, and love, bringing light not just into your own life, but also to those who need it most. Your generosity becomes a seed of inspiration and healing for countless souls. You didn't just stumble into favor. You were destined for it. It was written long before you arrived in this world. The world tried to convince you otherwise, but your spirit always knew. That quiet voice inside that said, "There's more for me." It was right. That deep pull toward greatness. It wasn't ego, it was truth. And now you are living proof that faith is a currency more powerful than gold. You believed in what you couldn't see, and now you are walking in what others still dream about. You've become the embodiment of answered prayers. Let's make something clear. You are not greedy for claiming abundance. You are righteous for doing so. It takes courage to say, "I want more," and not apologize for it. It takes boldness to say, "I deserve to thrive," even when life told you otherwise. That boldness is your superpower. That decision to believe again. That's why wealth is gravitating toward you now. The universe respects courage. And when you move with courage, you move mountains. You don't chase money. Money chases you. Because wealth recognizes power. And you, chosen one, are walking in yours fully now. Every block you once faced was only there to strengthen your resolve. The rejection wasn't personal. It was redirection. The delay wasn't denial. It was divine preparation. You were being groomed for a win so big, it required the shedding of the old you. The version of you that settled, that doubted, that hesitated. That version couldn't hold this level of abundance. That's why you had to go through the fire. That's why you were refined, not punished. And now you are emerging as pure gold, untouchable, unstoppable, undeniable. The people who overlooked you will now look up to you. The ones who dismissed you will now ask for your advice. And it's not about revenge, it's about alignment. Because when you elevate, the energy shifts around you, and your elevation will make room for those who are willing to rise with you. But you no longer lower yourself to fit small spaces. You no longer dim your light to comfort those afraid to shine. You've graduated to a new level of wealth, power, and purpose. And you wear it without shame. You've earned this. You've claimed this. You are this. The path ahead is rich with reward. Every step you take now is supported by unseen forces. You are not walking alone. You are walking with legacy, with power, with divine protection. What's ahead is brighter than you can imagine. Homes, businesses, influence, impact, all tied to the wealth flowing to you. You're not just building a life, you're building an empire. And you will do it with grace, with gratitude, and with greatness. Because that's who you are. There's no turning back. You've seen too much. You've grown too strong. You've become too aligned, and now you're unstoppable. Wealth isn't just coming, it's multiplying. You're not just receiving, you're expanding. This is only the beginning, chosen one. The gates are open. The flood has started. The win is yours. The wealth is unstoppable. And you are ready. The magnitude of this moment cannot be overstated. You're not in an ordinary chapter of your life. You're standing in the fulfillment of a divine arrangement that was made long before you even knew what you were capable of. Every seed you've planted in faith, in silence, in solitude, they've all taken root beneath the surface. And now they rise with you. You don't need to chase validation anymore. You don't need to explain yourself. The results will speak. The wealth you're walking into will be undeniable. You've reached the point where your very presence becomes proof of the favor you carry. Chosen one, there is something powerful happening in your energy field. You've activated a level of divine flow that is drawing unstoppable wealth into your orbit. And it's not just because you asked, it's because you aligned. You chose the hard path. You didn't cut corners. You sacrificed when no one was watching. You didn't get here through shortcuts or tricks. You arrived at this threshold through truth, resilience, and obedience to a higher calling. That's why your wealth cannot be reversed. It's not a fluke. It's a reward wrapped in destiny. And nothing can take it from you. You've stepped into a space where everything obeys the frequency you emit. And because you are now vibrating in the realm of trust, power, and gratitude, all forms of abundance are flowing toward you. Unstoppable wealth is not only attracted to you, it recognizes you. It sees your name. It knows your energy. It remembers every time you rose from pain and said, "Still, I believe." This wealth was always meant for you, and now, because you've matched its frequency, it is compelled to appear in your life in undeniable ways. Your mind is no longer chained by fear. Your heart is no longer closed by trauma. Your spirit is no longer waiting for permission. You are unlocked, unleashed, and fully aligned. That is why your ideas are turning into income. That is why your presence is becoming your platform. That is why what once felt impossible now feels inevitable. You've removed the resistance, and in doing so, you've made space for a rush of divine wealth to fill every corner of your life. It's not something you have to force. It's something you now allow. You've broken through the limits that were placed on you. Whether they came from your upbringing, your past, or even your own doubts, those limits no longer define you. You've expanded beyond the box. And when you expand, everything expands with you. Your bank account, your opportunities, your influence, your joy. You've reprogrammed the story. You are no longer the underdog hoping for a chance. You are the chosen one stepping into certainty. There's no more hoping. There's only knowing. There's no more waiting. There's only receiving. Now that you've aligned with your true identity, wealth comes as a byproduct of your embodiment. You don't need to hustle yourself into the ground anymore. You don't need to compromise your values or prove your worth. The moment you realized that being you was enough, the universe rearranged everything to support you. And because you have shown that you will steward this blessing with integrity, it will never run out. You are the vessel through which this wealth flows. And because you are solid, the flow is consistent, generous, and unstoppable. No more playing small. No more shrinking to fit old roles. You've outgrown that version of yourself. The world needs the fullness of your presence. The world needs the expression of your divine wealth. When you thrive, others are inspired to believe again. When you rise, others remember their wings. This is why your wealth matters. It's not just for you, it's for those assigned to you. Your elevation has a ripple effect, and this ripple will turn into waves. Waves that shift communities, waves that fund visions, waves that restore hope. You've been positioned to lead with wealth, not just accumulate it. This wealth is meant to be circulated, multiplied, and infused with purpose. You're not just receiving money, you're receiving mission-fueled abundance. You'll know exactly where to place it. You'll know exactly how to grow it. And you'll be protected while doing it. Because when you walk with purpose, divine protection walks with you. The traps that caught others won't catch you. The losses others experienced won't be your story. You're moving with grace, and grace rewrites the rules. This level of wealth is going to bring visibility. But you won't fear it, because you've already been through the shadows. You've already battled the silence. You've already faced the storms that no one saw. And because of that, this spotlight won't shake you. It will elevate you. You'll carry this wealth with humility, because you know what it took to reach this place. And that humility is exactly what will preserve it. It's not pride that brought you here. It's power. Quiet power. Real power. The kind that doesn't need to shout, because its impact is loud enough. There's a difference between wealth and unstoppable wealth. Wealth can come and go, but unstoppable wealth is deeply rooted. It's built on foundation, not fantasy. It's backed by energy, not ego. And what you've secured is unstoppable. Because it is part of your divine coding, you didn't manipulate your way into it. You aligned your way into it. That's why this win is so massive. That's why this overflow won't dry up. You're tapped into an eternal stream now. And as long as you stay connected to your truth, the flow cannot be interrupted. You've also reached a place where your energy is too expensive for chaos. You're no longer entertaining distractions. You're no longer tolerating anything that pulls you out of alignment. That's why things and people are falling away. Not because you're losing, but because you're winning on a higher frequency. You're in a new room now. A room where power, peace, and prosperity sit at the table. And because you've entered this room, you will never settle for crumbs again. You're not begging to be seen. You're showing up fully. And in doing so, you're making everything around you rise. This is your permanent season of flow. You're not going back to drought. You're not returning to struggle. You've crossed a threshold. You've opened a portal. The old story has ended, and a new reality has begun. This new reality responds to your certainty. It echoes your belief. And as long as you keep speaking the language of abundance, you will keep receiving in abundance. This isn't magic. It's alignment. This isn't luck. It's legacy. You've stepped into something that will outlive you. And every day you walk in it, you're writing a new history. The universe is not confused about who you are anymore, and neither are you. You've stripped away the false layers. You've silenced the noise. You've returned to the core of your power. And in doing so, you've become unstoppable. Wealth is simply the evidence of this internal shift. It's the proof that you've accepted your birthright. It's the reflection of a healed, awakened soul. And now that you are in full possession of yourself, you are in full possession of the flow. You're not reaching, you're receiving. You're not questioning, you're declaring. And the universe is listening. You've entered the era of yes. Yes to joy. Yes to peace. Yes to overflow. Yes to luxury without guilt. Yes to support without strings. Yes to receiving without resistance. The doors are wide open now, not because someone else opened them, but because you kicked them down with your faith. And now you walk through them not as a guest, but as the rightful owner. You belong here. You've earned this. You've become this. And what's coming next is only bigger. You're not just living a breakthrough. You've become the breakthrough. Everything about your energy has shifted. You've gone from searching to radiating, from hoping to knowing. The chosen one has risen, not as a dreamer clinging to potential, but as a powerful force walking in certainty. And that certainty, that's what wealth responds to. It doesn't respond to doubt. It doesn't respond to desperation. It flows toward bold energy, unapologetic vision, and unshakable belief. That's who you are now, someone who commands wealth by being aligned, elevated, and awake. What makes your win so divine is how personal it is. This wasn't some generic success story that could belong to anyone. This win is tailor-made, customized by the universe with your specific frequency in mind. It has your name on it, your signature, your soul print. Everything about it screams alignment. It fits you perfectly because it was built from your truth. No one can replicate this. No one can take it. This is not a hand-me-down blessing. This is a legacy-level anointing, created through the fire you survived and the light you never stopped protecting.